Hello everyone, welcome to Pretty Good Gaming, I'm Henry. Let's have a little chat about Red Dead Redemption 2's incredible open world design. There are dozens of open world games in the market these days, and open world fatigue is a problem that many gamers face. Lots of games feature open worlds, but that doesn't necessarily harmonise with their identity or thematically with the story. Regardless of your personal feelings about Rockstar's Red Dead Redemption 2, the game has done very well both commercially and critically, so don't expect it to disappear anytime soon. This is for a number of different reasons, from the excellent story to its near unrivaled immersion to the perfectly imperfect characters. But arguably, the most important aspect of any open world game is the world itself. While it does have clear problems for many, such as slow gameplay and clunky controls, it remains one of the strongest releases this console generation and is a truly exemplary piece of world building. Red Dead expertly integrates its world and its design thematically into the story and the genre of a western itself. Westerns are all about adventure, being out in the wilderness of a cruel and untamed frontier, collecting the experience over the course of the journey. The notion that you have to get lost to find what you need is integral to the experience of playing Red Dead, especially after the core storyline comes to its ultimate climax. The world is weathered and old, it's dirty and rugged, it has real history and so do the people in it. So much has already been said about how deftly Rockstar have approached their side missions and random events, and this cannot be stressed enough. These smaller moments are invaluable in making the world feel genuinely alive and lived in.
Good morning, sir.
Shut your mouth.
You're not even worth a response on my time.
Simple one-off encounters can yield full mini-adventures and side stories that don't necessarily add anything to the overall narrative, but do truly flesh out the wider world and the player's role within it. These random events can cascade out of control, or can amount to very little outside of a small payment or an honor increase. But that's exactly what makes them stand out. You never really know how things can turn out, and that's even before considering the various ways you can handle a situation if you do choose to get involved. Do you help the poor unfortunate soul with his leg caught in his own bear trap? Do you leave him to his grisly fate? Do you embrace the outlaw life and take advantage of him and rob him?
Help me now, or I'm done for. Keep at it. Oh, God, you did it.
These various unique and simple interactions mean that every player will have stories to share about their individual experiences with their friends with differing outcomes, something which true cowboys and outlaws would do themselves around a campfire. Through this, Rockstar has allowed their nuanced storytelling to transcend the confines of the video game medium and allow players to truly share something with Wild Western life in reality, albeit perhaps not in the most action-packed and obvious of ways. Another superb example of how the nature of the world and the sense of adventure really defines the experience is Sony's fantastic God of War, released earlier this year. God of War sees the eponymous Kratos trek across his world and others to fulfill his late wife's final wish with their son Atreus.
Boy, slow down, boy. We do what we please, boy.
This Norse adventure is not a traditional open-world sandbox, unlike franchises such as GTA or Assassin's Creed, and is a much more linear experience and plot. Linear storytelling can often be considered as a negative by some, but it can lead to an outstanding narrative because it allows for a high degree of polish and detail on one specific endeavour. Games such as Naughty Dog's The Last of Us benefit from this linearity, creating clear focus and vision by avoiding the open-world setting.
It looked weirder than any board I've ever seen.
Get after it then.
With God of War, every departure from the critical path leads to exciting new possibilities, each filled with purpose without feeling superfluous. God of War also integrated traditional video game cliches and tropes directly into the world and lore. Set within Norse mythology, the world tree Yggdrasil serves as a method of fast travel across the game worlds and other realms. This makes the game feel less gamey and resonates perfectly with the cinematic vision, echoing the subtle minimalism of the HUD and the constant one-take shot. In 2017's beautiful Horizon Zero Dawn, Guerrilla Games made the exploration of the world a key narrative device. The world of Horizon is a post-apocalyptic landscape of Earth where the planet is left in ruins and strange machines roam the wilds. I say post-apocalyptic because the calamity has already happened, people have dealt with it, and now they have started to rebuild and restore a degree of civilization to their world. The core of Horizon is the mystery of what happened to the world you're currently playing in, but more importantly, why. This means that the sense of traditional adventure is second to an experience of more investigative discovery. This rhymes perfectly with the character of Aloy, who was previously restricted and confined to the boundaries of her tribe, but now has a chance to branch out and explore her world.
Expecting more tomatoes?
In truth, I thought they were throwing stones.
Nevertheless, that feeling of wonder as you cross the world throughout your journey is absolutely there, as you encounter these enormous mechanical beasts in all their captivatingly foreboding glory. The Legend of Zelda series is perhaps the best example of the action-adventure genre for many. The latest Zelda title, Breath of the Wild, is built around putting protagonist Link in the middle of a space and just saying, go.
Okay, we're going.
The game doesn't hold your hand or teach you all of its systems, you have to discover that for yourself. Cutting your way through the story and discovering things as you go is one of the things that makes this game stand out among its peers. It borrows lots from other contemporary titles, but its sense of exploration is so essential to how the story unfolds. Since the nature of the story is Link recovering his memories, and the only way to do that is to go out and find them. Zelda is a timeless series and has influenced so many other titles with its presentation of its world, and it's clear to see why. If any of these games were built differently, possibly in a more level-based format, something would really be lost from the overall experience. Restricting Red Dead to a non-open world would be very detrimental to the whole experience of it being a Western. Spider-Man is another brilliant example of this. Taking Spidey away from his New York base would take something away from the character's identity and how he patrols the city. Assassin's Creed seems to be learning this as well at last, with praise being given to the recently released Assassin's Creed Odyssey over its world. In previous Assassin's titles, the worlds have been fun to play with interesting settings, but haven't truly felt unified with the story itself and the feel of the game. Rockstar has undeniably set a new benchmark in a lot of ways for their latest title, but perhaps most of all, Red Dead Redemption 2 is now the yardstick for world building and world integration. So that's just my thoughts on Red Dead Redemption 2 and its world building, but make sure you let me know how wrong I am down in the comments. Be sure to hit the bell if you're new around here, go over to Patreon, check out our new podcast. I've been Henry, we'll catch you next time.